still working on that budget. Takes a while. I mean, you really have to think about what you're doing. I had a lot of questions like, where's your insurance, your car insurance? I have added it back in. I didn't add it in because I just didn't know what I was going to do. I have decided to keep full coverage. One subscriber said after 7 years they only pay you like junk for junk. I don't know if that's true or not. My van is 12 years old. It's a 2013. And it only has 120,000 miles on it. So it's mechanically sound, but of course, you know, you always have things that can and will happen. The older it gets, the more things wear out, whether it's from use or whatever. So I've added the insurance back in, and I pay $130 for insurance. The other thing was Marley. I do set aside so much for Marley. I don't know if I want to do it monthly. I do $30 a month for food. I do not spend $30 a month for food. She eats what I eat. I'm cooking special meals for her. That's all in the food budget. This $30 is going to be if I have to have a vet, if I have to, her treats can be expensive. I buy large bags. So it's like $20 at a time, and they last for months. So I have set aside that $30 for Marley, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I have a vet coming up, and I already know pretty much what that's gonna be, and I set that money aside already. So what was the other thing? I don't have streaming services. People who are working on the road do. I don't. I'm not putting that in a budget because I don't need it. I use my phone, my $40 phone, for YouTube and everything else. I paid $40 for this phone 5 years ago. Now I am going to get a new one. My son says I'm going to have to pay more than $40. We'll see. We'll see. But so right now I want to answer some questions about this budget. I am not going to carry cash around. So the envelope sounds good, but what I've done is done it all on paper. And I, this weekend, opened up a separate bank account with a separate debit card, and I put my money in there, transferred it in there, and I will only use this one debit card to pay for everything on my budget. And what I've set up is a system where I write everything down. I'm keeping all the receipts. I keep all the receipts anyway. Always. And the reason is that YouTube is a business and you have tax deductions. So I now have a column for unbudgeted expenses. And unbudgeted expenses is I bought some potting soil. Part of that is tax deductible. And most of it is because but I'm going to get food out of it. So part of it, I only take 70 or 80%. Part of it's deductible. The storage, I don't put that on my budget. The reason is many of you don't have a storage, but my storage is tax deductible. So it saves me from paying taxes. So far, I haven't made enough money to pay taxes. I've had more deductibles than I owe in taxes. So I haven't had to pay taxes. That saves me a lot of money. Once I start paying taxes, then I'm going to have to put what I pay every month, split that up for 12 months, and put that in my budget. But right now I haven't, and this year I'm doing my taxes. It looks like I owe nothing this year. The reason you keep all your receipts is for tax deductions, or if you're doing a budget, and I keep all my receipts. So, and once in a while I lose them, like I lost that check, but I keep all my receipts. Just so you understand, I do that. And the reason I'm not putting in my storage is because it's tax deductible. It's all tax deductible. And it saves me money in the end, so I'm not going to put that in there. It's just not something that I feel is really, truly an expense. We'll see. We'll see. My thought process may be wrong on this, but we'll see. Medical is so different. I don't put medical in there. Everybody's different. And once I get VA all set up, I'm going to eliminate that altogether. And so I'm not going to put that in. What else? I'm trying to think. There were so many questions. Thing that I'm definitely going to do, which I have done, is I'm going to have breakdown categories, not just food, canned goods. How much do I spend on canned goods? How much do I spend on dairy products? How much do I spend on rice, noodles, things of that nature? How much do I spend on sauces? How much do I spend on fruit? How much do I spend on vegetables? And right now, I just spent $73 on, well, no, it was $51 on food. A lot of that was vegetables, which I didn't realize how much I have been spending on vegetables. Now, I do buy them in a package. So, for instance, one pepper is like 72 cents. If I buy a package of 8, it's 50 cents because it's $3.99 for the package of 8. I cut them all up, chop them up, and freeze them. I take out, I'm thinking about either getting a dehydrator or a vacuum seal, because I do buy in bulk if I can, even in my van. And yes, I will show you my refrigerator so you can see I don't have a lot of room. So those are two options that I'm thinking about doing, because it's cheaper to buy it in bulk than one at a time. I buy a bag of potatoes, and they last so long, and I keep them under the bed in the dark, so they last a long time. Onions last. I use a lot of onion, not for Marley, but for me. I do use a lot of vegetables, carrots, potatoes, anyway, you know what I'm saying. So I do that, but right now the bulk, almost 20% of my $51 was in vegetables. Sweet potatoes are very expensive, very expensive. So this is what I'm trying to do. I also want to show you where I got some summer sausage last year. It was $2.99. I was looking at the summer sausage this year. I still have it because it lasts a long time, and I was thinking I was going to pull it out. And I went in, I bought it last year at Grocery Outlet for $3. I went in, and I'm definitely going to I'm going to film this inside Grocery Outlet. It was $3.99 for a summer sausage that was a third of the one I bought. That's how much things have gone up. And I know we all realize it, but do we really sit down and figure it out? So I'm going to take specific things that I have from a year ago, or prices that I'll tell you. Cans of beans were 64 cents a year ago. And now they're 96 cents, I think. So we'll go into that as well. I want to get into all the additional expenses in the inflation part of this that we need to talk about. Your vehicle, even though I have a budget, I live in a van. This is a very inexpensive way to do it. And a car is even cheaper. But when you get into RVs and fifth wheels and trailers, it's a whole different ballgame. It costs a lot more money, just so you know. Probably your regular car is the cheapest way to go. Get gas mileage, whatever. But I did need a van, and I took that into consideration. I took into consideration I would be more comfortable in a trailer pulling one, or an RV. I can't spend that kind of money. I just didn't have it, and it takes a lot more to maintain, to drive, so that's not in my budget. So each vehicle has its own expenses, and you need to understand that when you buy a vehicle. Really research it. How much does towing cost? This van can be towed by anybody, but an RV has to have a special towing, and it's very expensive. An RV, a bus, anything that's bigger, a box truck, all these things you have to take into consideration as to when you go into this lifestyle. It is something you really need to think about. So I'm going to stop on this, And I thank you very much for watching, subscribing. I hope this is helping someone maybe get in the mood of budgeting. I'm really starting to get into the thing of it. I've already cheated. That's right, I forgot. I cheated. I forgot. I went in to get gas and ice. And when I went in, they had just put out hot dogs. Now, I go in, I forget. A couple of times, maybe 3 times, I would go in to get my gas, and if there's hot dogs out, I love hot dogs, I will get a hot dog and a drink. That's $4. So, my first day on my budget, I blew it. I spent $4 on a hot dog. So that's in my unbudgeted expenses. I really have to think when I go to buy something. And that's my biggest challenge right now, is thinking about what I'm doing, because I just buy it. I don't think about it. I go into Walmart, I buy a couple of hot dogs, $1.50 each. That's $3. I give one to Marley and one to me. I don't put anything on them, but I have to stop and think about that. So this is making me think about how I really am spending my money. I'll talk to you next time.